What's up guys, Angel R Fishing, back at you guys with another video. In this video guys, we're going to start off the new year right, and we're starting off with this video in particular because I have looked up online and not a lot of videos are out there about this product, and I have been using it this past year and I found it super beneficial towards my fishing, as it saves me time out in the water and it also saves me money in the long run. So what are we going to be talking about today guys is we're going to be talking about the Wacky rig, which involves Senko. For some of us that are getting into bass fishing, a Senko is this guy right here, basically a 5-inch worm. So they come in multiple different sizes. You can get 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, or even 6-inch. Right here is the standard size, which a lot of people use, which is a 5-inch Senko. And what wacky rigging is essentially where you put a hook right through the center of the worm, which it will look like this right here. Have a hook right through the center of the worm, cast it out there and twitch it and let it fall, hence it being called wacky. But a lot of us that have been bass fishing for a while know that wacky rigging is not the best solution, as you tend to go through Senkos quite often, and that's when a lot of people like to use O-ring tools, which essentially is this. A hollow tubing comes in multiple different colors, as you guys can see, with a screw, and it typically has a black rubber band. I will show a picture on the screen of what they look like, and they come in black or clear. So the way this tool works is you put your worm through the hollow side of the tube like so, halfway, and then you're going to slide a rubber band off the edge of the tube onto your worm right here like so. And then what you do with that rubber band now is, instead of putting your hook through the center plastic of the worm, you're going to put it around the rubber band that's around the worm. It sounds confusing, but it's basically kind of like having your hook like this. Just imagine a black ring right through the middle of the hook and worm. That's what's holding it all together, and a lot of people have been using that. Yes, you get a little more life out of your Senko, but ultimately you either get a bad hook set or you end up wasting a lot of money on Senkos. Now, some of us that have been bass fishing for a while know that the Gary Yamamoto Senko is probably one of the best Senkos on the market, but the only issue that hurts is they typically run $8 to $9. They're not cheap plastics. Basically, they're 10 in a pack, and at the price they are at, you're basically paying $1 for each worm, and for you to go through them quite often, it sucks, and it steers a lot of fishermen away from the Gary Yamamoto Senkos into trying other off-brand Senkos that are able to give them the same action and stuff. But the one issue that I've run across when I do that, I'm trying to go with other brands such as the Yum Dinger or the Bass Pro Shop brand, is I don't get that rate of fall that the Gary Yamamoto Senkos do. The reason why, because those baits don't have that much salt embedded within the plastic. If you guys pick up a Gary Yamamoto Senko right off the bat, if you squeeze it or stretch out that worm, a lot of salt is released from that bait. With that salt being added, it allows it to get great density, in which it has a perfect rate of fall. And if you look at some underwater footage, you're able to see that this worm gets a little shimmy action from both ends as it falls in the water. So now if you go with an off brand, your only option to get that perfect rate of fall is to typically go with the weighted jig head or a weighted wacky worm head like this. It kind of sucks because you're giving it a more of a bulky presentation. So now there's another tool that has been introduced to the market but is not advertised as much on YouTube nor by other fishermen, and I decided that I'm going to sit there and make this video for you guys, is the G7 tube worm pliers, which are these guys. These are a funny looking tool, but there's not that many videos on YouTube covering this product the way that I have been using it for my fishing. What I mean by that is Tactical Bassing does have a video about this product, but they use it for the Nico rig. They don't really talk much about it as using it for a wacky rig. So this is why I'm making this video for you guys and help you guys become better anglers, save you money, and save you time out in the water whenever you're fishing. The way these G7 pliers work is essentially where you have the option to buy different rubber bands. You can sit there and play around with your plastic and basically match the color of your worm. Now, if you guys know, the traditional O-rings come in two colors, black and clear. Well, the G7 comes with these rubber band sleeves, which are called Worm Protect tube, and they come in three colors. Three colors that these tubes come in is black, green pumpkin, and clear. Along with the different colors, you are also able to get these tubes in different sizes as well. So let's say you like to fish 4-inch or maybe you have 3-inch Senko. Well, they make a smaller tube that's going to fit that worm. Even if you're going to be fishing a Jacko flick shake, which those tend to be a lot thinner in diameter compared to the 5-inch Senko, you're able to downsize the tube and get the right size you need to wacky rig that. So now the way this pliers work with this tube is, you guys can see you got this long needle. You're going to slide the tube onto that needle like so. And if you look right here, there's a hole engraved. That's where you're going to fit the worm through, and you squeeze the handles. It's going to stretch out that rubber band to give you a bigger opening. Now what you do is you're going to sit there, slide the thin end of the Senko through that little hole like so, and you want to slide it onto the middle of the worm, which is going to be right there. Now I'm going to slide the rubber band off my tool onto the plastic of the worm like so, and there you go, it's right on. So now instead of putting your hook around this rubber band, guys, like how people have been previously doing, which is like this, with this tool, how I use it is I'm going to put the hook through the center of the worm tube, through the center of the worm, and out through that tubing, right through the middle. So that what that does now is it gives you more durability out of the worm. So what I mean by that is typically whenever I'm fishing for smallmouth or largemouth, I'll get 3 to 4, maybe even 5 largemouth on one Senko. As in terms of smallmouth, they're a little more aggressive, and you know that smallmouth, it's hard to even use that O-ring because they're typically going to be one and done. Well, with this tool on, I can get about 2 to 3 smallies on one Senko before it rips on me. That gives me a lot more durability, and the neat thing about this too is that it allows me to get a better hookup ratio. As in terms, what I mean by that is traditionally, if you did the way I showed you, which I'll play a flashback, and you can see the way the hook is positioned on the worm, or when you put it around the rubber band and the worm, it's not the perfect angle to get that hook set we're looking for. What I mean by that is we want to hook that bass at the roof of its mouth, get that perfect hook set. With rigging up the Senko with a traditional O-ring like that method, you're not going to get the hook sets you want, and sometimes you're going to miss some of those fish. So doing it this method is going to give you more durability out of your worm, followed by getting you better hookup ratios. And this is something that I have found super effective out in the water because I found myself going through less Senkos, which saves me money in the long haul and is also saving me more time on the water and actually being able to fish rather than have to sit there and worry about, oh dang it, I went through a Senko, I gotta rig up another one. It eliminates those two major conflicts that run in with the traditional O-ring tool. And I want to show you guys this too. Show you I'm a big Senko guy. Senkos, they can be boring to fish at times, but they produce fish whenever I find it very tough, especially in the summertime when I can't catch bass on anything else. Tie on a Senko and I'm guaranteed that I'm gonna catch a fish on one. And a neat thing about these rubber bands too, if you got any color Senkos, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I know that these are my favorite colors. These are like orange pumpkin kind of deal. These guys tend to stain a lot of other stuff with their color orange. I don't know why. So one thing I do is I grab the clear tubes, and what I do is I throw them in with the Senkos, and they absorb that orange color, which allow it to camouflage with the worm pretty spot on. So whenever I'm fishing a heavily pressured body of water that has seen the Wacky worm for quite some time, you know, a lot of the guys just throw the black one, which is nothing wrong with it, but with this I can sit there and eliminate that black ring that's in the middle of my worm, giving it a more natural presentation. As you guys can see, that tube camouflages so well, and it just helps eliminate that big bulky presentation of that worm and giving it more of a natural look to it. Sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. It depends on your body of fishery. Sometimes it's more pressure than other places, but that's something I can take away, guys, from using this tool. Well folks, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys do enjoy this content, be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment to let me know, hey, this is really informative, you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. And also, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, YouTube is telling me that 96% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, while 3% of you guys are subscribed to the channel. So if you guys have not already, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notification bell to be alerted whenever I drop new video, guys. You can stay up to date with the latest and greatest on the channel. Anyways, guys, this is Angel R Fishing, and I'll see you guys on the next video.